Yeah, what up? It's your boy Rob, coming back at you once again with another video. So before we get started, you already know what to do. Make sure you smash the like button, drop your boy a comment, and make sure that you hit the bell icon twice. All right, watch the video all the way through to the end and click the links at the end of the video. All right, help your boy out. I got a big goal trying to hit 50K by the end of the year. Help your boy do that. Then 100K by next year. Come on, man. All you got to do is just hit the bell twice, subscribe, drop your boy some comments, shoot your boy some content, and we can do this thing. All right, so let's actually get into this. We're going to talk about this tweet. We're going to go over a couple articles, and we're going to talk about some things that are probably going to piss some people off. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The world doesn't revolve around you, it revolves around the sun. All right, so I'm sure everybody is aware of the debacle with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. In my opinion, it's a very unfortunate situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's what was created by the people who, you know, decided to redo the earth. All right. So I'm going to show you more of the genetic incapability of a lot of the population at large to not be able to have normal human rational thought or the emotion of empathy as it applies to certain situations. And I will show you how the IQ breaks down horribly when addressing these things with talking points. And I have to question the people, you know, who counter these kind of things. Why is it that you can't come with better arguments to debunk this nonsense? Because it's very easily debunkable. I think what it is there's some inherent intimidation that people need to work out on their own and then come back to the situation. All right, so this is a tweet by Bart News, okay? And it says, Serena Williams said she felt the pain and the cruelty suffered by Meghan Markle, and that systemic oppression and victimization are devastating. And that is absolutely true. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is how fucked up people are. Everybody knows that Serena Williams is married to a white man, and she recently had a child by a white man. Congratulations, Serena Williams. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, your relationship is going well. You know what I'm saying? And I wish you the best, you and your husband. Now, there's some people who will say some disgusting names about Serena Williams simply because of who she's with. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, if you're not fucking the person, you know what I'm saying? It's none of your business who somebody's with, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If she found, you know, things about that man that make her happy and complete her as a person, and she, you know, was willing to have a child with him, hey, you know what I'm saying? Do you? You know what I mean? Be happy, you know what I'm saying? Be fruitful, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's hating on that. But there are a lot of people who come up with these kind of things and, you know, say these kind of things. And, you know, it's pretty sad in my opinion, because people have enough issues and enough things that they have to face in the world. And there's issues with that as well. And we will get into those a little bit later. So now here, this guy who is a doctor, Latino, it looks like, by the way. All these oppressed, beloved millionaire celebrities. America is really such a terrible place to be rich and famous. Now, here's the thing that's interesting, right? Marcelo, you brought your ass here willingly. Serena's ancestors didn't, first and foremost, all right? Second of all, I guarantee you Serena faced a lot of racism coming up in the tennis circuits. Tennis is a sport that's highly dominated by white people until Serena came around and her sister Venus, you know what I'm saying? And handled that little element. But yeah, making it there, you know, she had to deal with racism as well as the racism that she has to deal with in these comments by the genetically unempathetic. So then we have this one using bell curve talking points. Is she trans? Now, why would somebody ask, is she trans? You know what I'm saying? But you have black men, you know what I'm saying, out there that validate these talking points, you know what I'm saying, by talking about the quote masculine energy. Well, she's so masculine that she was able to secure a relationship with a high value white man and make a beautiful baby with him. So swallow that red pill, all right? She chose him over all you guys. So then we say here, systemic oppression and victimization are devastating, said the pair of millionaires to the billionaire. Now, here's the thing. This is the thing, right? Literally, look at what these All Lives Matters pilgrim terrorists, you know what I'm saying, are saying. we're just going to completely ignore a lot of facts. And this is what white people do. And for some reason, black people, this is black people's kryptonite. When white people get illogical, black people, and I think it's from slavery, black people don't have the tenacity and the killer instinct to, boldly slap them back in place. You know what I'm saying? But, that's why they killed Malcolm X, because he wasn't with that turn the other cheek shit. He was with the slap you back in place shit. So now this person is really on some racist shit. And she says Serena marries a rich white man to ease her pain. Now, it's not like Serena leveled up by marrying this guy, because Serena had her own money. And who gives a fuck that she married a rich white man? You know what I'm saying? If that's who she dated someone who was also rich in her social class. You know what I'm saying? Now here it says, after all, Serena threatened an Asian line girl and was disqualified for it. She shares the pain. Well, it gets competitive in sports, and there's plenty of times Bill Laimbeer tried to take black men's heads off, but I don't see you upset about that, you Canadian syrup-sipping dumbass. So Petro girl, you know what I'm saying? Where you get your name from, Petro, you get it all from brown countries. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of retarded, and I believe you might be as well. All right, so here we are attacking Serena because she's a black woman married to a white man. She didn't level up marrying that white man. She just got married to him and had a kid with him. Serena had always dated high-profile men. She dated Drake as well, another white man. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? So look at this. These are the attacks. And the interesting thing that you see is you literally see these white people here using the same talking points that black people use when they attack people who are involved in interracial relationships. And the thing is that social media causes this, because I don't think Serena Williams is a self-hating black woman. But because of all of the social media nonsense in the gender war, you see a black woman with a white dude, and it's all of a sudden she's all these names, and you really don't even know the situation, despite the fact that she did date black men in the past. So, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is kind of ridiculous. So now it says perhaps the racism originates from Harry. So now here it says Prince Harry apologizes for offensive footage. So let's check out this YouTube video right here, because I've never seen this before. But you have Breitbart, and it's one thing that white people are excellent at doing. White people are excellent at being vile racists themselves while using the racism of other white people to try to show how good they are while they're actually burning crosses in the background. So never trust this shit. Only use it as receipts. All right. So let's see what this shit is all about, shall we?
Britain's Prince Harry has issued a public apology. That's after a British tabloid newspaper posted this video from 2006.
Anybody else around here?
Harry can be heard using offensive and racist language while walking around this airport departure lounge with other officer cadets. The men were waiting to fly to Cyprus for training exercises.
Oh, little packy friend.
In another clip, Harry can be heard using a derogatory term for another cadet wearing a headscarf.
You look like a raghead. Look at me.
The paper said the video was shot by other cadets and supplied to the newspaper.
If this was in the private sector or in any other walk of life, certainly the person would be disciplined for making such remarks. It is not acceptable.
A spokesman for Harry said that the...
Actually, it wouldn't. And at the time that this shit happened, white people were on code and said, well, he's being canceled. And remember, being canceled literally means that white people aren't allowed to have the anti-racist or the anti-minority sentiments that they have verbally without repercussions. That's why they call it cancel culture, because you're canceling their culture of white supremacy and the ability to be able to just say whatever the fuck they want to say without impunity. They don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now here's the thing. Here's a white man who probably more than likely in his home says worse shit than Prince Harry, what it was that he said about this Muslim individual. But to drag Prince Harry because he's involved with this black woman, he's going to dig up an old ass receipt and say, hey, despite the fact that this man is with a black woman and had a baby with her, we're going to show how racist he is. Yeah, that trick doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? This is what white people do. You know what I'm saying? I can show plenty of examples of this on a personal level, and I may have to do that one day. You know what I'm saying? Where you have a white person that just freely uses the N-word and talks about how low IQ, people who are melanated, Muslim, Latino are. And then what they do is they turn around and say, but this person said the N-word back in 1950. You know what I'm saying? All of it is vile. All of it is disgusting. But usually when white people point out racism in other white people, it's the person pointing out the racism that you need to worry about. Just like when all of these Breitbart and Fox News watchers wanted to point out that Joe Biden created the crime bill. Well, we know about the crime bill because a lot of our relatives are serving penalties behind it, and they're results of a lot of the FBI crime statistics that you racist pilgrims like to quote all of the time when discussing any issues involving black people. So we all already know about that, despite the fact that you all inherently believe that we have the 86 IQ of retard. You know what I'm saying? We really don't need you to, continue to, state things that we already know, because most of us are already under the assumption that you have no idea that you're racist anyway. So we just give you all the daily pass because there's no point in talking with you because you're white and you say so anyway. You could say the sky is green and the, grass is blue. Rewrite it in the history books, and because you're white and you say so, I mean, that's just what it is. We already know that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we make our own decisions. We make our own assessments of things. There's some black people that have issues with interracial dating. There's others that don't, but none of it is because of anything that white people say, because we have no need to validate anything, no values, no ideas, no culture, no anything because of what white people say. Your opinions and assessments of us is completely and 100% ineffective and irrelevant. So just as long as you know that going forward, you know what I'm saying, then we can coexist peacefully. All right. So we're going to downplay the fact that being in an interracial relationship at one point here in the United States actually was illegal. But because Breitbart is white, bright, and say so, you know what I'm saying, we're going to, act like none of this has any connotations behind it. Serena Williams said she felt the pain and cruelty suffered by Meghan Markle, and that systemic oppression and victimization are devastating. Now, see, here's how clueless and low IQ these white people are in this tweet. Here it clearly shows, all right, when dealing with this situation here, that the child is being assessed for skin color. Okay, but because for whatever reason, I guess maybe because white people have a difficult time procreating with other white people and creating skin color diversity, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand that. So the thing is that these white people may sit there and say, oh, she's not being oppressed, she's not being victimized. The facts of the matter is that because the baby is mixed and the baby has melanin in them, clearly the baby has different rights and privileges than what would be afforded to someone who was not melanated. Meghan Markle says that her son Archie was denied a royal title and a royal protection, and there were concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born. See, none of these pilgrims here, none of these Bible belters, you know what I'm saying, really know anything about that because, again, they're not capable of that kind of diversity with their own natural procreation. So those conversations wouldn't take place in their house unless they were. So what they want to do is try to deal with the financial aspect and not deal with the ethical aspect, which they genetically can't handle with their cognitive short-circuiting. And understand the fact that if he was with a white woman, there would be no issue with security and no issue with title. But because I'm white and I say so, we can truncate, ignore, and omit that and just simply talk about the financial aspect because, they're millionaires. You see how that shit works? And so now here we have the blame shifting where we talk about the, quote, elites when they were benefiting off of what the elites were doing. It wasn't a problem. You know what I'm saying? But now that, quote, the elites decided to dip into the chocolate, now everybody's a billionaire. You see, now all billionaires. Now get the fuck out of here with the dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? So, we don't buy that shit. We don't play. And again, there's this all it's showing is the genetic and inherent inability to show human emotions, which has to, question the genus species that a lot of these motherfuckers are, classified under. All right. So again, when she's talking about pain and cruelties suffered by Meghan Markle, she's talking about the fact that her son is shown that he is not worth as much as he would be worth if he was an all-white son, which deletes the far right Breitbart narrative of all lives mattering, because clearly the baby's life doesn't matter because we have to have conversations about how dark the skin would be. and he's denied a royal title and royal protection. He's just a regular civilian. But we're going to talk about money and millionaires and act like there's no other underlying issues. And this is what white people do. This is why it's dangerous to be surrounded in a population where they make up 70% and we only make up 30. This kind of mind state is dangerous. This is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, you know, she has a lot in common with Meghan Markle. She has a mixed kid. She's in an interracial relationship. Probably something that none of these people can say, but for sake of argument, they'll say my 10th grandmother was black, and actually one of their ancestors probably raped and molested a slave is more than likely their only, you know, interaction or intercourse with someone black, to act as if they're capable of even being able to relate or speak on these issues. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, Meghan Markle and Serena Williams happened to find, you know, decent white men who didn't just feel that they were entitled to take the pussy, you know what I'm saying, like what was done during the slavery time to create eugenics babies like me, but that's another story for another day. All right. So, white people, interracial marriage in the United States, it used to be outlawed, okay? So yeah, there was systemic issues behind what both of these women are going on. And clearly Meghan Markle is dealing with the implications of a mixed child. And just because Meghan Markle has more money than you, because, you know, Prince Harry chose a black woman or a mixed woman over your white daughters to make part of his family and part of his wealth, it doesn't mean that she's still not facing racism in a different way. Maybe if, you know, you'd be royal instead of trash, then maybe you'd understand. Maybe you could have one of your daughters marry a black man and, you know, possibly be a queen and marry a black man. And then she have to worry about, you know, her son not being a prince. But because you created trash and Meghan Markle's mom created class, she's the one that ended up getting that royal dick. All right. So let's read this article, shall we? By Breitbart. They should call this shit right. They should call this shit far right Bart. Serena Williams says the pain is real. Proud of Meghan Markle for her interview. All right. And, you know, the interesting thing, you know, is that, you know, Meghan Markle and, you know, Serena, they didn't really talk about the criticisms that they would probably get from a lot of black people for being with white men. So they kind of stayed on code. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't just decide to go in on, yeah, you know, we face criticisms of being in an interracial relationship in our own community. Nope, they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? They kept the aggression exactly where it needed to be. So, you know, props for them for that. So for all of those people that want to criticize people in interracial relationships and criticize black women who are with white men, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, even still at this point, you know what I'm saying? They had opportunities to say things and they didn't. Whereas I just did a video where Charlemagne just couldn't keep black women out of the conversation when they weren't even brought up. So there's that. So here it says, tennis great Serena Williams said Monday she felt the pain and cruelty suffered by Meghan Markle, the wife of Prince Harry, after the former actress used a television interview to accuse Britain's royal family of racism. I mean, clearly there is racism. But the thing is that the population at large is not capable of understanding it because it's not something that they've ever dealt with. So why we continue to have these conversations with the ignorant and clueless is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? Again, having conversations with these people who did this to you to benefit from is pointless. But whatever. As Breitbart reported, Markle went public with a host of claims about the royal family in an interview with Oprah Winfrey. And one thing that white people hate being having done to them is public criticism of their vile and disgusting, insurmountable and uncontrollable urges of being racist. Again, like I said, I've seen instances of it. Even when they lose their minds at a nursing home, you know what I'm saying? They don't lose their racism. It's very odd. Alleged concerns were expressed about the color of her son's skin ahead of his birth. Meghan said when she was first pregnant with her son Archie, there were concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born. She also said he was pushed to the brink of suicide after marrying into royalty in 2018. Williams, who won 23 Grand Slams titles, said her friend Meghan had taught her what it means to be truly noble, and said she felt her pain as she lived with oppression inside Buckingham Palace. Oh yes, nothing more racist than, you know, being in closed doors behind the you know, sunken place family. You know what I'm saying? I know firsthand the sexism and racism institutions and the media use to vilify women and people of color, to minimize us and to break us down and demonize us, Williams tweeted as a part of a longer statement. And she needs to not use this people of color. I mean, if you're going to go that route, she should have said women. She should have said black women and black people. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to say people of color because we're dealing with 2 black women. You know what I'm saying? To break us down and demonize us, William tweeted as part of a longer statement. All right, so here's the tweet right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'll put this in the description box. We must recognize our obligation to decry malicious, unfounded gossip and tabloid journalism. Now, mind you, the same people that have an issue with canceling and an issue with what the media does literally are telling Serena and Meghan Markle to shut up. So basically, this tells you, you know what I'm saying? Like, even, you know, that's why if you date interracially, you have to date somebody that you love and somebody that you care about, because you're not going to get any love or any support from any side. You know what I'm saying? Like, black people are going to drag you, and not all black people, but some black people are going to drag you, and all white people are going to drag you. You know what I'm saying? And then there's that sector that, you know, some people understand, you know what I mean? And I'm one of those people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know? But there's implications behind it. And unfortunately, Meghan Markle is dealing with those, as well as Prince Harry. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like I said, these people are public with their relationship. These are high profile couples. And I think a lot of times when it comes to these people in the high profile public, they know what goes along with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they've had those talks and those conversations. So if they're going to be in the public eye like a royal family, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure, you know, they had that conversation and, you know, they had to accept it. You know what I mean? They had to accept it. This is interesting. Melania's IQ versus Michelle's IQ. Well, we already know that. I'm white and I say so. So because of Melania's skin, you know, I guess how that works is the absence of pigmentation is inversely proportionate with the presence of brain cells, according to white people. You know what I'm saying? So it says here, the mental health consequences of systemic oppression and victimization are devastating, isolating, and often all too lethal. And that is absolutely true. Tariq Nasheed actually talked about it in one of his last live streams. And then there's also the concept of epigenetics that people should look into. You know what I'm saying? Meghan and Harry said in the interview their second child, who is due this summer, would be a girl. I want Meghan's daughter, my daughter, and your daughter to live in a society that is driven by respect, Williams added. Well, if you sit around and wait for that, it'll never happen, unfortunately. You got a lot of battles to fight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is an unfortunate situation, but not surprising. It's not surprising that the population at large is low IQ, ridiculous, and doing what they can to deflect by picking out small snippets of a guy, a person who would not allow their daughter to return to the household if they became pregnant with a black man or a man of color's child, is trying to point out where Prince Harry, you know, said something, you know, to one of his military comrades. You know what I'm saying? Because again, that's the game that they play, you know. And what he doesn't realize is that he's racist as fuck by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. It's the double standards of society. Again, it's just proving my point that there is no reason for us to continue to expect peaceful coexistence with these people. We live in a volatile and unsafe situation here in the United States, and we need to evacuate ASAP. All right. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash the like button. Make sure that you drop your boy a comment. All right. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that by clicking the links at the end of the video. And also make sure you share this to your social media. And I will catch you on the next video. All right. Peace.